In this lesson, I want to finish off the PHP portion of this lesson in this course where we're looking to send that value via mail. And the good thing about PHP, by default, it has a mail. It has the ability to send a mail. So this is really good that it's built in and ready to go. So let's check this out and see how this works out. So we know that what we want to do here is we want to send a mail if there's nothing here within any errors, and we're going to actually output this as mail sent, and then we'll add in that mail functionality. And so we probably don't want this to come up as danger, so let's update this to success. So that should give us a green value there. So now we see that wrong anti-spam, that one we're not renewing. So we got mail sent, so it is firing off and it is ready to send all that mail value. So let's add that in, and there is another thing here that I did want to get rid of all of the spacing, because it's adding in some extra spacing there when I save it, and this is something that Bootstrap is doing, so I just want to get rid of that. So that should take care of all this excess white space that we've got here. So we do have it still showing up. So this was from before, all this excess white space that we definitely don't want to have. So let's anti-spam and enter in a message. So now we've got no value here for the message, so this is good, and we can enter in test. And that should validate, and we're ready to send the message. So let's open up our editors and add in the values here to send the message. So we know that we've already gone through the security check here, and we know that we're all ready to go sending out this message. So we've got a value for result already, so we can actually put that at the bottom. So let's create our message values. So for any email, we need a value for from. So this can be an email address that you can use. We need also to, so where this email is going to, whoever it's going to. We can also use a subject within an email, so we need to set up a value for subject. And then we've also got, lastly, for the email, we also have what's known as the body. This is the contents of the email message, but we also have a few other things that it's always a good idea to add in your header information for the email. So we need to specify some spacing for that, and so we need to fill out all of this information, and then now we're just going to do a mail to. So let's add in some values here. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out the from value. So this is going to be an email address that it's sending it from. The email address that's sending it to is that email value that we picked up from the post subject of it. So we'll set this to message from contact form. The body, so the body is going to be the contents of what's contained within that email. So we've got some options here for bodies. So we'll just do a from, and we're going to specify the name of the user that it's coming from. So let's do it like this with the double quotes, and that will give us the ability to just add in the values there within PHP. So we don't have to break out of the quoted area, so we can use these values here. There is a difference between double and single quotes in PHP. So with the double quotes, I can specify variables names. With the single quotes, it's going to just write it out as regular text. So that's something to keep in mind. So to do a line break in an email, so it's a /n, and maybe we need to specify some additional information. So, or maybe we could just bracket around it. So just bracket around it. So email, so we get the user's email address. And also let's add in the message here. So message, and then the contents of that message we're going to put on a new line. So we'll have the value there of the message. So we've got all of that email set up and ready to go. So for the headers, so sometimes this is a little bit complex, but this is just specifying that it's the type of version it is, the ME version, and we're also going to do that it's an HTML email. So we're going to add this into the headers. So the context type character sec UTF-8. So that will give us the header information, and we can also include within headers, we can do a value for the from. So the from is going to be the value of the email user that it's being sent it from, so it's going to be that one up there. So that takes care of our headers. So now all that we need to do is add in that mail function within PHP. So let's do that right now, and we're going to send out that email. And we probably want to put a condition on here to see if mail, and this is the mail statement here, so we're going to go to using the value of the email that's passed. We're going to specify subject. We're also going to add in that body content, and then we're going to add headers to complete that email being sent out. And if there's a value for there, then we're going to keep with email sent, and otherwise we're going to say, oh, there was an error there, so email wasn't sent, and we need to slash that there. So let's take a look at this now and see how that turns out. So we need to add in this, send it, and send out that form. So we failed to connect to the mail server, so this is correct because we don't have a mail server set up on our local host, so we don't have a SMTP or an SMT port in the PHP INI file because we are on our local host. So when we do upload this to our web server, we're going to try that out again just to make sure that everything is working properly. So in the next lesson, we're going to finish this off, and we're going to add an update, adding in some of that jQuery, and also upload this to a web server and try it out.